Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out to this event. I'm just blown away at how so many people are here and lots of familiar faces, and this is just, it's so encouraging to see people gathered to preserve culture and to remember and think about how we've all ended up here, and what has transpired on the land and what, how it all came together for us. So thank you so much, and a big thanks to Debra Heesch for bringing this event together. And without further ado, we're going to do some music for you. Looking for a lowland trail, got miles before me and miles behind. Looking for my lowland trail, looking for a lowland trail. I'm looking for a lowland trail, got hills to climb in my own sweet time. Looking for a lowland trail, I'm looking for a lowland trail. Trouble cropping up where it could have been love. I've seen it on the lowland trail. Put it all on the line, but it wasn't enough. You go back to a lowland trail. Looking for a lowland trail. I'm looking for a lowland trail. Got hills to climb in my own sweet time. Looking for a lowland trail. Looking for a lowland trail. I'm looking for low, looking for low. I'm looking for a lowland trail. I've got people, I've got places, I've got things, I've got friends. I've got something when there's nothing coming up from within. I've got postcards, I've got music, I've got someone's hand to hold. I've got whiskey, I've got brandy, I've got a use for an old soul. Sometimes I feel it dipping beneath the waterline, but I keep it on a burner in the back of my mind. I just keep it on a burner in the back of my mind. I got sunburned, I've got books I haven't read. We got neighbors telling the neighbors they'll be burning up when they're dead. I got wasted, I got waylaid, I got stuck in Lodi again. Got some time now, need the know-how, I've got only to write the end. Sometimes I feel it dipping beneath the waterline, but I keep it on a burner in the back of my mind. I just keep it on a burner I think, I don't know, for me, something that I've always done since I started doing songwriting, which started when I was in 6th grade, and since then I spent a lot of time, I used to play on the street in Mountain View on Castro. You may have seen me there, guitar case open, playing for tips. I know there are those of you in this crowd that have seen me do that, and that probably threw a dollar bill in there. Maybe it was a 5. And that's the kind of encouragement that, enables someone like me to keep doing what I do. But just thinking about how this is all tied together, I am a product of this place, and I am just kind of a funny thing that grew out of this soil. So anyway, although I go out and come back, this is still home. But this song I'm going to do next is called Barbed Wire, in parentheses, Belly Crawl. And I wrote this in Eastern Oregon. In like some canyon country they call Hell's Canyon. So that's a little more intense than the Valley of Heart's Delight. There's a barbed wire fence way down in the canyon. Are we inside or outside the line? You step over it, I go through it. The kid belly crawls 'cause they're 5. If you knew what it was like to be on both sides of me, I'm going farther this time. Yeah, I'm going farther this time. There's a farmer we know steps into the tavern where the bright lights ease the mind. The band gets an encore and the farmer's stiff pour, and we're all getting closer this time. Yeah, we're all getting closer to find. If you knew what it was like to be on both sides of me, I'm going farther this time. If you knew what it was like to have both hands tied, I'm going farther this time. Yeah, I'm going farther this time. If you knew what it was like to be on both sides of me, I'm going farther this time. If you knew what it was like to have both hands tied, I'm going farther this time. Yeah, I'm going farther this time. There's a barbed wire fence way down in the canyon. Are we inside or outside the line? So Forrest is he's from Western Washington. And Forrest, tell him what you love about Los Altos.
Oh boy, where do I begin? I love one of my favorite activities when I'm not here is just pulling up the weather app on my phone and making a bet with myself that it's going to be 75 degrees with a slight breeze. And I would have won that bet with myself today. What else do I love about Los Altos? Apricots. Big fan of apricots.
This is a tune about Baker City, Oregon. It's dry out here in Baker but the moonlight looks the same. You always said that you would meet me halfway. There's something lost between us. My kisses, they won't melt. That wiry thing that you built up around yourself. If I come quickly, you'll know where to find me. But if I should tarry, count me with the wind, me with the wind. Go find yourself a bunkhouse where you can raise your brand of hell. You can yell the way that the coyotes around you yell. Come meet me on the fence line. Don't spare your words their sting, for the sagebrush seed is ripe for reckoning. If I come quickly, you'll know where to find me. But if I should tarry, count me with the wind, me with the wind, count me with the wind, me with the wind. It's lonely here in Baker. Forrest and I live in Goldendale, Washington. Anybody been to Goldendale? Also known as Oldenstale. Hell of a place. See, I thought the name of Goldendale was surely a marketing thing like Valley of Heart's Delight. But it is in fact named after John Golden. I don't know much about him. I would never in a history museum courtyard pretend to know the history of something I didn't know about. But that can be your own research, I guess. Don't even waste your time with that one, actually. Yeah, that'll be the future programming. We'll get down to the nitty-gritty of John Golden. But I live up there, and Goldendale is about 10 miles north of the Columbia River, and it's really fascinating to watch the barges go up and down the river, and there's freighters, there's trains, and then there's Interstate 84 that moves things, and there are steelhead trout, and there's all kinds of interesting commerce and agriculture, like the crossroads of agriculture and commerce are all happening in real time, and you can see it all happening. And that's something I think leaving this area is cool to kind of get that lens and then come back here. And that was part of why I uncovered the history of the apricots. And my dad every year would can his apricots, and so that's a way that it was sort of instilled in me to appreciate apricots. And that I just started wondering, like, what's up with this guy's obsession with apricots? And it's sort of, I kind of started pulling that thread, because I was like, there's something deeper happening with like that nostalgia that I know that he cherished so much that time of year to appreciate apricots. And I mean, here we're very lucky. There's DeMartini's, and they have a fabulous selection of fruit and vegetables. And I mean, what a place to appreciate produce. But to eat in season and to appreciate a fruit that's only there for a small window of the time in the early summer, that's just something to really cherish, and that will help you think about how you appreciate things. So that's sort of just the theme, I guess. I'll try to see where I was going with that one. Oh yeah, the Columbia River. So this is just how this works. If you don't usually go to see folk singers, this is part of what we do, is we have to just keep talking until the songs come out. It's a hell of a tax, but it's California. Anyway, so I wrote this next song sitting on the banks of the Columbia River, and of all places, I started thinking about Corralitos, California. So this is what came out. You can make noise, babe, but you don't know how to make a sound. I was thinking about you, babe, San Andreas Road heading south. Out in the country, you better know what you're talking about. I was thinking about you, babe, you better know what you're talking about. I let my backpack hit the floor. Something about the dust now, it's not as clean as it was before. Out in the redwoods, you better know what you're looking for. Honey, you know I would, you better know what you're looking for. It turns my whole world upside down. Out on the weekend, I gotta keep both feet on the ground. But honey, when you're dancing, ain't nothing gonna keep me down. Yeah, out on the weekend, I gotta keep both feet on the ground. Honey, when you're dancing, ain't nothing gonna keep me down. With the hits. This is a song, is everyone feeling good out there? Yeah, do some cheering so that they feel like they're missing something out there across town. I love the idea of this, reaching the townies, sitting on the patios of the bars down there. I don't know, there's not many of those. This song's called Tehachapi, and I wrote it when I was in Petaluma. I had to go north of the bay, see what was on the other side, So sing along if you know the words. Wasn't much of a warning. He disappeared one morning. Put his mattress up on the back of a pickup truck. And I'd been working, my shoulders were hurting. I'd been learning how to turn my muscle into something. Will you think of me? Will you think of me? Will you think of me on your way back to Tehachapi in Sonoma County? Well, the grass is feisty. It'll put a tear in your eye, make your nose run like it was wanted. You worked on the water, I was out in the pasture, and the fog rolling into Petaluma at night brought those two together. Will you think of me? Will you think of me? Will you think of me on your way back to Tehachapi? Will I cross your mind down the 99? Will you think of me on your way back to Tehachapi? but you heard struggling. Tell me, how does a girl with a family like yours end up so desperate? Well, it's these little feeds that keep me going, and the day that I quit trying is the day my heart stops growing. Will you think of me? Will you think of me? Will you think of me on your way back to Tehachapi? Will I cross your mind down the 99? Will you think of me on your way back to Tehachapi? Baby, will you think of me on your way back to Tehachapi? So like many Cilker children, I have worked at Pinecone Lumber. and while I worked there, I had a coworker who really loved fishing, and he would tell me all about his fishing on the Chetco River. And he would always go fishing for steelhead trout. And my friend Ben Walden is from Moscow, Idaho. Anybody know Moscow, Idaho? Yeah. So Moscow, Idaho is a really awesome and unique place on the Palouse, which is the largest largest dry land?
The most productive dryland wheat farming region in the world.
What he said. Anyway, but yeah, the Snake River kind of skirts that part of the state of Idaho. And Ben Walden, our friend, wrote this song, and it's from the perspective of a dam worker pondering the steelhead trout. And it's one of my favorite tunes, and it's on my new album, Valley of Heart's Delight, in fact. So what is the tie? I don't know. But there's this homing in me that keeps bringing me back here to dear Los Altos. And sometimes I think that might be the thread there, is that, you have to push upstream. Out in the sun, working on the dam, I looked down at the riverbed, twirling, swirling with the current. There was a 2-foot steelhead, a rainbow shining in the muddy water. It smelled just like the pulp mill. It jumped just a little and it made a ripple that drifted to the Pacific. Steelhead trout push upstream, spawning in the spring. Climb a ladder on the dam, won't stop for anything. Only death can stop a steelhead. I wonder how many times it's been up the river, and I wonder will it ever come back again. The salmon go to die and the headwater's high, but the steelhead come on back again. On my lunch break I will have a drink, then I'll take a swim, and I'll feel the minnows nip at my toes, and I wonder will it ever come back again. Steelhead trout push upstream, spawning in the spring. Climb a ladder on the dam, won't stop for anything. Only death can stop. Steelhead trout push upstream, spawning in the spring. Climb a ladder on the dam, won't stop for anything. Only death can stop a steelhead. Only death can stop a steelhead. Only death can stop a steelhead. I'd also like to note that I'm playing a J100 guitar purchased at Griffin Strings in Palo Alto. And I understand one of their luthiers passed away just a few days ago, Frank. And so that's a shame. That shop has always been so amazing to me, and I've found a lot of great instruments there. And we love to see a mom and pop business, carry on through the years and help us do what we do. Well, we're going to do one more tune for you and then take a little break so we can all mingle and fight over the remnants of the apricot bars back there, whatever. This song is called Floodplain. Left the building in a flurry, had your boots on in the house. They were dropping little dirt clods, you were dropping little doubts. You're asking me questions, which I won't dwell. And I'm sorry, I hold you tighter than I ever held myself. If you're staying, stay. If you're going, go. Just remember that I am home. If you're driving, drive. You gotta ramble, ram. Don't you forget, you always come home. Textures we live for, the vices we chase, they're all out on a floodplain that the tears irrigate. So if you don't like yelling, you ain't one to cry. Find a brackish imitation to keep those suckers alive. If you're staying, stay. If you're going, go. Just remember that I am home. If you're driving, drive. You gotta ramble, ram. Don't you forget, you always come home. If you're driving, gotta ramble. You always come home. Thank you. We'll be back shortly. Tell me where you're going, ask what I'm doing, wonder how it's coming along. It's a piece of a puzzle, it's a midnight struggle. I'm going, I'm going, I'm gone. Steve's in Manhattan, Will's down in Houston. Sometimes your tables don't turn. The start of your suffering is the end of your wondering. I'm smoking, I've burned. But tell me where you're going, ask what I'm doing, wonder how it's moving along. It's a piece of a puzzle, it's a melody muddle. I'm going, I'm going, I'm gone. Rolls into the lock saw, make its Pacific return. The state of your mind shouldn't keep you from kindness. I'm teaching, I've learned. So tell me where you're going, ask what I'm doing, wonder how it's moving along. It's a sound and a fury, it signifies nothing. I'm going, I'm going, I'm gone. A banjo for strumming, black American woman, the gatekeeper's footing disturbed. It's a song down the ages, it's a tearing of pages. I'm listening, I've heard. So tell me where you're going, ask what I'm doing, wonder how it took us so long. It's a shirt we've been offered from the backs of our mothers. I'm going, I'm going, I'm gone. My home in Los Altos, the apricot's yearly return. It's the saints at the river, it's a Trinity swimmer. Oh glory, my Lord. Turns, each tearing up the other with the prettiest words. I remember there in Greenville, saw a friend at the show. I remember Carolina, I remember being home. And I remember California, San Francisco Bay. But all my buddies live in Oakland, you know the arts don't pay. I remember up Fickle Hill, heart felt at ease. I remember Humboldt County, does they remember me? I remember Montana, always treating me fine. Going up to on the 4th of July, went on a bender in Bozeman. I sobered up in Hamilton, fell in love with the fisherman, but it was catch and release. And I remember Idaho, 24 years old, the bad dog bit down to my bone. Pam Houston on the cellway, Daddy he said no. I remember learning something, I remember Idaho. I remember seeing Dylan, he tipped his hat at me. I hitched a ride back to Boston with the 12 Tribes community. I remember I was swimming on Singing Beach. That's the last Massachusetts ever did for me. I remember Carolina, I remember California, I remember Montana, and I remember Idaho, I remember Massachusetts, I remember being homesick. I don't know where my home is, I remember being free. I love to see you all together mingling in the slanted rays of afternoon light in the courtyard of the Los Altos History Museum. It looks good on you. It suits you. Let's do this more often. So a writer that's been pretty influential for me is Lucinda Williams. We're going to do a Lucinda tune for you. And I always felt very stirred by Lucinda's work. And she's from Lake Charles, Louisiana, you know. And it's kind of funny to feel her art kind of resonate with me so deeply. And, you know, we grew up in such different places. But kind of the heart of what she's singing about is universal. And this song's called Something About What Happens When We Talk. If I had my way, I'd be in your town. I might not stay, but at least I would have been around. There's just something about what happens when we talk. Something about what happens when we talk. Does this make sense? It doesn't matter anyway. Is it coincidence or was it meant to be? There's just something about what happens when we talk. There's something about what happens when we talk. Conversation with you felt like a drug. It wasn't your face so much as it was your words. And there's something about what happens when we talk. Just something about what happens when we talk. Well, I can't hang around 'cause I'm going back south. But all I regret now is I never kissed your mouth. There's just something about what happens when we talk. Something about what happens when we talk. Something about what happens when we talk. Something about what happens when we. We're going to do a Gordon Lightfoot song for you. Ribbon of darkness over me since my true love and I. Sorry. Since my true love walked out the door. It's tears I never felt before. Ribbon of darkness over me. Clouds are gathering o'er my head. Shield the day and hide the sun. Shroud the night when day is done. ribbon of darkness over me. Rain is falling on the meadow where once my love and I did lie, but she's gone from the meadow. My love, goodbye. Ribbon of darkness over me, where once the world was young as spring. Flowers would bloom and birds would sing. Ribbon of darkness over me. In this cold room lying, don't want to see no one but you. How I wish I could be dying to aches and breaks all day. Come on back and take away. Ribbon of darkness over me. Come on back and take away. Ribbon of darkness over me. Please give it up for Sarah Cilker singing harmonies with me. No, Sarah's got the lyric prompts ready whenever I need it. One of the first times Sarah and I performed together as kind of in this iteration, sort of. Well, Forrest wasn't there, but we got up to sing at the Christmas, in the Christmas program at Union Presbyterian Church, and we got up there and we were ready to go, and I strummed my guitar, and on the first strum, my strap came off, and the guitar was slung down, like, it just popped off, and it was kind of dangling, and I was scared, and then at that moment, I just had to say, let's just try that again. And then we just started the song a second time, and it was fine. And I think that was a pretty definitive moment in my career, truly. I think I was like 15 or something. Anyway, that's showbiz. The show must go on. It's a good life skill, I must say. Just make a fool of yourself and keep trucking. Y'all, please make some noise for Miguel running sound and recording this. It's great to come home to the Bay Area and work with wonderful people in the industry. And so don't be afraid to reach out for any sound needs. He's one of the best there is, so. This next song is called Chester's, and it's about a bar. And I wrote the song before I found the bar. Leave my state on a whim to chase the highway whites again. I leaned my back into a gas station. That's when my sister had to stir hope in me. 'Cause I've made my bed on the side of the road, seen my good friends get married and then feel alone. I've seen the drunks in the line at Chester's. I can't let myself get lonely no more. Tip my hat to the wind and shake the dust off the brim. In his work boots worn thin stands my won't you take all my suffering and ache? Won't you keep me from this road I've been down? 'Cause I've made my bed on the side of the road, seen my good friends get married and end up alone. I've seen the drunks in a line at Chester's Eye. I can't let myself get lonely no more. I've seen the drunks in the line at Chester's Eye. I can't let myself get lonely no more. This is a Kate Wolf song, and if you know Kate Wolf, you know this song. So sing along if you know the words. But it feels fitting to tribute a California folk singer such as Kate Wolf. And also my mom likes this song. I've been walking in my sleep. I've been counting troubles instead of counting sheep. Where the years went, I can't see. I just turned around and they've gone away. I've been sifting through the layers of dusty books and faded papers. Tell a story I used to know. It was one that happened so long ago. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. It's the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day. That's when the darkness rolls away. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. It's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Where the rivers change direction across the great divide. when I was working on this album that I titled Valley of Heart's Delight, I was sort of thinking about, I don't know, I was trying to have a theme. That's something we do as artists. We try to find themes. That's like kind of our whole deal, is finding themes and motifs and just kind of seeing some continuity between different things. And I was really sitting with, I was in Eastern Oregon at the time, and I wrote a lot of this album during the pandemic. So I was holed up in Eastern Oregon, and I wasn't really leaving the valley much. And there's only 3 roads out, and at that time there were talks of what might happen, that could really easily keep anyone from entering or leaving that specific pocket of Eastern Oregon where we were living. So I was in deep isolation, and that's when I started thinking about the Valley of Heart's Delight a lot more. And I had Robin's book, California Apricots, and it's been a great tool for me to leave here and see it from another view, and to see other parts of the country from that view, and then in trying to tie together my album. This next song is called All Tied Together, and that's sort of how I feel a lot, is tying everything together and just seeing how things are all connected. And this song, like in the chorus, the second time, it says, let's see if I can remember it. Sorry, we were just on the road for a whole month, so forgive me if I'm a little tired. Where does the fruit fall when you've tasted it all and the harvest lies green on the ground? There's nothing more devastating than when there are green apricots at the base of the tree. And of course, there's some thinning you are supposed to do, but that's pure devastation, is the dead on arrival. So I don't know. I guess the all tied together thing. We can see so much symbolism and metaphor all around us, and paying attention to that is sort of what helps me get through. And that's sort of what I do with what I do as a songwriter, is to help people remember to find the beauty in things and learn the lessons that are right there for the learning, And a lot of things are right on the nose if we just look up. So this one is called All Tied Together, and I just want to say thank you so much again for coming out. This has been really lovely, and this is Forrest VanTuyl on guitar. He's an honorary Cilker. And this is Sarah Cilker again, everyone. It's all tied together. Yeah, it's all tied together. There was a man, loved a man, named his son the same, and it's all tied together. Yeah, it's all tied together. Can the angels fly close to the ground? And if it's all tied together, just tie my boots down. Lost the tallest drink of water around. He was long, he was mean, was a son to Steve, and it's all tied together. Yeah, it's all tied together. if you've tasted it all, when the harvest flies green on the ground, if it's all tied together, are we better unwound? It's all tied together. Yeah, it's all tied together. Yeah, it's all. Thank you so much.